Next up, we have John Hinson. He is the marketing manager for Spotlight Branding. Along with managing the company's marketing, John also oversees the behind-the-scenes work to make sure everything runs smoothly. He's a graduate of East Carolina University. He spends his free time writing, playing the drums, and playing softball. Help me welcome John Hinson.
Is there a green light on there?
How about now? Oh, yep, there it is. All right. Cool. Well, thank you all for being here. We're at the end of the day, so I'll try to make this worth your while. I know you're all required to be here, so it's not like, you know, you had a choice. I mean, you could have probably just walked out, but it's fine. I really appreciate you being here. I am here from Spotlight Branding, and I'm going to talk to you about why you do not need SEO, search engine optimization, Google to grow your firm. I want to start with a little bit of an analogy to really kind of encapsulate what SEO kind of is. So I like to equate SEO to the gold rush of 1849, right? Prior to that, everyone was just kind of living their life, and then all of a sudden, we find out there's a bunch of gold out in California, and a ton of people just dropped everything, and they moved out to California to find gold. Now, a few people, they found gold, but the vast majority of everyone that went out there ended up dying very miserable and broke, all right? Now, I'm not so morbid that I think all of you are gonna die broke if you do SEO, all right? I'm not a jerk. But what's happened today is that when the internet came along, all these new marketing companies came up, and they started sounding like all those old prospectors from the from out west, being like, oh, there's a bunch of gold in this here Google. Thank you, laughter was the correct response to that. And attorneys and other business owners, they kind of just dropped everything. They dropped all the other marketing that has been working for centuries before that, and they went to SEO. And a lot of them have been frustrated with the results that came out of that, all right? And I'm here to tell you that regardless of what all these other marketing companies are telling you, you don't need Google to generate a bunch of business and grow your firm, all right? So I know you're all wondering, who is this beautifully bearded, bald mountain of a man up here? As Julie said, I'm the marketing manager at Spotlight Branding. I am known lovingly as the office wizard. What that basically means is that while I am giving you this presentation right now, I am also simultaneously keeping my inbox clean. I'm handling IT issues. I'm answering questions from other employees about client issues that they just don't have the answer for. And that's extra impressive if you consider it's about 6:30 on the East Coast right now, where we're based out of, and everyone's gone home for the day. All right. I am also the author of 13 nonfiction books. So if what Mike said earlier was true, I probably sound like a god to you all right now. I am an expert on everything. You should just trust me inherently. I'm also a ping pong master. I have not seen any tables around here, but if any of you want to be humbled, bring it on, all right? It's a college town. I'm sure there's one around here somewhere. Lastly, I am a little too enthusiastic about waterfalls. If we weren't in the desert, I would probably be going to find one right now, but I'm also kind of really enthusiastic about all the cactus. It's very interesting to me. I'm weird, I'm sorry. All right, Before we dive in, a little bit about Spotlight Branding. So we were founded in 2011. We focus exclusively on solo and small law firms like you all. We have over 150 clients in over 30 states, and over 35 of those clients practice estate planning or elder law in some capacity. Now, I make that point because I've had several attorneys come up to me and say, well, you can't write blogs about whatever. I have 35 plus examples showing you that we can generate content for what you do. All right, so that is our team right there from Halloween. If you came to the show or the conference at State College and then also in Hershey a couple years back, you may have met Jana or Mark, also known as Batgirl and the Astronaut in this picture, but this time they sent me, the gigantic hulking football player. So, one more thing, some additional resources from us. So on our table, we have a copy of our first book. It is like a shook. We didn't do it with Mike. I just kind of put all that together on my own. But it is technically not available yet. It will be available next week, but I am taking pre-orders, even though we're giving it away for free. So you all can drop off your mailing address if you're interested, and I will make sure that all of you get a copy. We have a podcast if you're into that. I am the host of the podcast, so if you are just enthralled with what you got going on up here right now, listen to me every week. The episodes are pretty short, usually like 5 to 7 minutes. And it's just marketing, knowledge, inspiration, something quick for you to listen to on the way to work or wherever. And then lastly, we have our anti-SEO report. We are pretty big against SEO, if you haven't been able to tell already, but that gives you a lot of statistics, a lot of information, truth behind SEO, and usually what it ends up getting you. So, as I have said many times already, you do not need SEO to grow your firm, all right? Here's the problem. You do a Google search for anything, Google's gonna bring back hundreds of pages of search results. The problem with that is that the vast majority of people only care about what shows up on page 1, all right? So, you're paying $10,000 a month for SEO, and maybe you're on page 2 of like 20 different keywords. Congratulations, no one cares, all right? People, more often than not, only care about what happens on page 1. That means you're competing for one of 10 spots on a search result, all right? Now that's eliminating the 2 or 3 ads at the top and then the map listings. That's a whole nother rabbit hole to go down. But there are 10 results that come up on a page. The even bigger problem with that is that about half of those results are going to be directories and review sites. So now you've gone from 200-300 results to 1 page to half of the results on that page. And the 4 to 6 lawyers who show up on page 1, they've either been there, it's their website is so old that they've built up all of this SEO credibility that Google is just like, here, please just take it. Or it's the firms that have a gigantic marketing budget and they're spending 5 figures to dominate a keyword, all right? The first example, just as a side note, if your website looks like it was created in Yahoo GeoCities, if any of you remember that, that's a bad look, all right? Like, it doesn't matter if you're on page 1, people are gonna show up to your website and think that you may not even be practicing anymore. Like, you just retired and forgot to take your website down. People are gonna move on real quick. So that's the key, is whoever pays the most usually ends up on the first page of Google, all right? And there's, the people that end up calling you because they found you on Google, they really only care about how little they can pay you and just how quickly they can get out the door. Like, they don't care about you as a person. They don't really care about, the overall work that you do. They just want to price shop and move on as fast as they can, all right? The best clients don't come from Google. You've been hearing about this all day. There's a better way to market your firm, all right? And I have some examples for you to prove it. Now, I don't know if you can see this, but this is an example Google search for an estate planning attorney in Charlotte. All right, I have, using my awesome photo editing skills, self-taught, I know you're jealous. The first three are directories. So you got Justia, lawyers.com, and superlawyers.com. All right, and then you got two more at the bottom for Avvo and Yelp. All right, that's half. Half of the results on the first page are directories. You're not going to compete with that. All right, and you got 5 other attorneys who are spending good money to be there. All right, Charlotte's a big city. You know that there's no need for you to compete with that. All right. So, the best clients aren't going to come from Google. All right. Here's what you need to do instead. And you've been hearing this all day. This has been teed up for me so well, I couldn't believe it. All right. You just need to stay top of mind with the contacts that you have. All right. Whether you've been in business for 6 months or 20 years, you know, build up those contacts and just stay in touch with them. That's the biggest missed opportunity that we see with attorneys is you get this contact information or you don't get it at all, and then you just don't do anything with it, you know? And all you have to do is just remind them of who you are and how you can help them, all right? And you create those consistent touch points in your marketing, you build up that expert status, and now they'll come to you with business, whether it's repeat business or it's a referral, whatever the case may be, all right? Depending on what kind of studies you look at, I think it takes anywhere from like 6 to, you know, close to 20 separate contact points before someone finally gets up the nerve to contact you, all right? So, you know, adding them to your CRM and sending them one email just isn't going to do it. You have to consistently keep in touch with people. All right, I've got some examples for you all. These are clients of ours who have come from SEO or other marketing, and they have come to this, you know, top of mind referral-based system, and they have had amazing success. All right, this first one is Tyler Dahl. He is an estate planning attorney in Sacramento, so he is one of you. Before he came to us, he was, you know, strictly trying to do directories and SEO. All right, he was the guy trying to get on page 1 and competing with those directories, you know, and trying to work around it, all right? He was just constantly frustrated with the results, all right? People were just price shopping him. You know, they didn't care about, you know, it wasn't an immediate relationship. It was more, hey, what's your rates? Oh, that's too much. All right, I'm gone. You know, so we started e-newsletter, blogging, social media. We built his website. And almost immediately, he began receiving requests for additional business, you know? So it's like, hey, all right, thanks, you did my will earlier. All right, I need a couple of trusts written up. Can you do that as well? All right, awesome, thanks, here's my money. All right, on top of that, he received requests for other business that people didn't even know that he did. You know, one of the biggest things, so I know, talking about the Alzheimer's Planning Center, you know, you want people to know that you do that as well. So, you know, Tyler's case, you know, it was like, hey, you know, you put my estate plan together. I'm a business owner. I didn't realize you did succession planning. That's great. Can you please help me with this as well? You know, so, you know, making sure that, you know, people are aware of everything that you do will also bring in extra business. Number 2, we have the Gray Legal Groups. This is a family law firm in Murrieta, California. I promise they're not all California examples. Their initial web designer, when they built their first website, he was just focused on SEO. You know, it was all keywords, stuffed inside keywords, stuffed inside backlinks, stuffed inside metadata, stuffed inside meta tags, just all that crap that goes over everybody's head no one really understands. All right? Weren't getting great results, weren't getting a lot of business. They came to us in 2017. You know, we did the blogging, the newsletter, the social media. We did videos for them. We built their website. Since 2017, they've hired 4 employees, and their revenue has increased by 700%. That's insane, all right? And I'm not saying, I'm not saying their annual revenue was like $1 and now it's $7, This is a 5 and 6 figure jump that they made. All right, number 3, probably my personal favorite, Christine Mattis. She's a estate planning attorney in Toms River, New Jersey. So Christine, she does a lot of work in the special needs community, a lot with special education in the Down syndrome community. She's just a great person. She used to handle her marketing on her own, which, another side note, if there are any of you in here who call yourselves an attorney and you're handling your own marketing, you should stop doing that. All right? Because not only are you wasting billable hours on the marketing of your firm, but you are also not a marketer. All right? At last I checked, they don't teach marketing in law school. You are a very much overpaid marketing person. Delegate it. All right? Christine came to us. 4 years later, her firm has grown by 67%. That's revenue, staff size, all of it. All right? I know her, Gray Legal Group, and another example, they have been named as like one of the fastest growing law firms by Law Firm 500, if you're familiar with that organization and that system. So that's a big deal. Number 4 is Christina McKinnon. So she's a family and personal injury attorney in Miramar, Florida. Prior to working with us, she had sporadic referrals. She had some inconsistent monthly intake. 2 years after working with us, and staying top of mind, creating those consistent touch points, she's seen an overall increase in referrals. She's had a higher conversion rate on all the prospects that come in, doubled her revenue, hired 5 staff members. All right. And then the last example that I have for you, he is our poster boy. If you have gotten any material from us, you've probably seen this guy somewhere, and that is Brett Tremblay. He's a business law attorney in Miami. Brett's one of our oldest clients. He's been with us probably like 7 or 8 years at this point. And he has taken our strategy, this overall referral mindset, and he is completely blown up in a great way, all right? When he started with us, he was a true solo, all right? He was in Miami, which I think per capita has the most attorneys out of everyone in every city in the world. And he was trying to figure out how he can make a name for himself in this city of so many attorneys. And he went out there, he started building up his contact list, he started getting names, he started keeping in touch with people, and he started generating those referrals. One of the best stories that he tells is that he was on an airplane and he met a guy, got his contact information, plugged him into his system, started sending him his monthly newsletter. 3 or 4 years later, the guy calls him and is like, hey, I've been getting your newsletter, I need some help. Chance encounter on an airplane, and now he's a client, right? How many of you chance encounter with people, you just kind of let them go, On your flights home, you could be sitting beside someone who could need your services, a couple years down the line. You never know. Since he's been working with us, Brett has gone from being a true solo, and he was doing his own marketing, and we told him not to do that. And now he has 8 associate attorneys, 9 more support staff members. His revenue has increased by 50% for each year that he's worked with us. His case value has quadrupled over the last 3 years, meaning he is working less and making more. That's the dream, right? His cost of acquisition has decreased by 50% over the last couple years, meaning he's not even marketing as much as he needs to, and he's still bringing in more clients. Like, that is the system that he has created. And that is the dream that we have for everyone that we work with. All right? So, told you I was going to go quick. I'm surprised I'm not done already. What did we learn today? All right? Best clients, they don't come from Google. All right? The best clients, and I think we can all speak to this, are the ones that are referred to us. All right? Because someone has already vouched for you. They don't care what your rates are. They say, hey, my friend Dave, he was happy with what you did for him. take my money. I want to feel as happy as Dave felt. All right. Staying top of mind, creating consistent touch points with your contacts will increase your referrals, and it'll lead to consistent growth in your firm. All right. I know you're all small business owners. You have those big peaks and valleys, especially if your marketing is inconsistent. Getting a good, solid referral marketing system in place can even out those valleys a little bit, if not completely eliminate them altogether. All right. And then, of course, you don't need SEO. All right. If you come by our booth, you can't miss it, especially if I'm there. You really can't miss me. We've got some materials. We can set up a consultation with Jana, AKA Batgirl, and she can talk to you more about how we can help you if you do not have a good referral marketing system in place already. All right. Thank you. Oh, that looks weird, but that's okay. If you can't see it, we do have a special offer. Everyone here at the conference, member or not, you book a consultation with us here at the conference. If you enroll, you receive your first month free. All right, so thank you all. I'll be over at the booth to answer any questions that you have. Thank you all for coming out today, and I'll see you around.